dog go? Oh, okay.
Today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Prezzo.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. It is a home show. Had a little bit of a late switch there. I was supposed to be at Wicked Cheesesteaks. We'll be there next Monday. Brian has some family situations to deal with, so that means we pivot. And when we pivot, it means I sometimes run out to the supermarket and get junk food because we're going to do another taste test. You know how I love the Ministry of Silly Food Holidays and food holidays in general. I think they're ridiculous, except when there's a home show, and then I could actually use the food holidays to our advantage. In this case, today is National Cheese Doodle Day. So I'm going to do kind of like Defo, you enjoyed doing the comparison of the Lay's potato chips versus the Wise potato chips. Here we have two different types of cheese doodles known to most Americans, the Cheetos versus the Wise cheese doodles, cheese spelled Cheez. Defo, I know you would enjoy an occasional potato chip. Do you ever dabble in doodles?
That I have to say I've ruled out, as tempting as it is. Who didn't love having their fingers? And it's actually a funny story because way back in the day, my buddy and I had a little studio at Calder Racecourse where we were putting out a TV show. And we used to do the replays of the races before you had live racing available all the time. And it was kind of a valuable service. A lot of people liked the show. And we had a guy that edited on a very expensive set of equipment that we had on loan from one of our business partners there. And this was very sophisticated stuff, very expensive. And I remember one day, this guy was eating Cheetos while he was doing the editing. And this poor guy's multi-$100,000 system was covered in orange.
Orange
times with zip.
Yes.
So as messy as they are, I could eat Cheetos all day, but I'd have to say every time I blow by where they're on sale or they got the big, now they have the plastic container that has those peanut butter filled pretzels, little pretzel things.
Yeah, those are solid.
Now they have those with the cheese balls. I have to tell myself, no! Sure that I just blow by there. So I haven't had a Cheeto, I would say, in years, but I love them.
See, I've always been weird with Cheetos, and I like the crunch, but I always like the cheese doodles puffs, like the puff ones.
So you're not a crunchy guy. You're more of
I don't mind crunch, but I feel like there's not as much to it. I always like the puff ones, and again, when you get the cheese on your fingers and when no one's looking and you lick it off because it's like, how are you gonna waste it? Yes, I agree with Defo. I don't do it a lot because snacks are not our friends as we age, but every once in a while when we have a party, I'm like, oh, good, I get to buy the stuff I want because I'm having a party for other people to come to my house and they'll have to eat what I want. And that's when we go crazy for snacks. And I always usually get some kind of a puff. And I like cheddar popcorn too. Cheddar popcorn needs to come.
The Wise, what do they call that?
Like white cheddar. Smart has one. They all have white cheddar. White cheddar. I like that.
I hate all hybrid popcorn. And again, we're in stark contrast, as if we were talking about because I hate the crunchy Cheetos, and I absolutely 1,000% am with Lubie. The puffy ones are the way to go.
Better, right?
Well, in that case, then you're going to hate me because I got the extra crunchy cheese doodles, cheddar flavored. I don't know why anybody.
It'll break your teeth, man.
Yeah.
This is all. Did you have some issue with your father? I mean, you just try to do the antithesis of everything that he would have been all about.
There might be some latent. No, I love my dad. And actually,
yeah, but there might have been something underneath.
You love ice cream and you love really crunchy things. How do they make it extra crunchy? What is it like? If you can survive this, You won.
My teeth are holding up well. My brother's teeth, thank goodness. Now he has a whole new set of chompers. He's
Oh,
got some
nice.
implants and he's got a beautiful smile. He also, I guess, betrayed my father because he had some oral issues. But hey, so besides the National Cheese Doodle today, it's also March 5th, which now some people are making into a 305 holiday and celebrating all things Miami.
Mhm.
And I guess that's going into the food realm too. But we celebrated earlier this week, right, Lubie, with a
Yes,
trip
sir.
to the 305 and
Blue
had a
collar.
great meal at Blue Collar. So again, if anybody is going down to Miami to celebrate, and there's a bunch of your viewers who are already in Miami who live there, and we welcome you. But yeah, I always heartily recommend Blue Collar for your celebrations. Do you still have any haunts that you go to in the 305, Jeff Defo DeForest?
Well, it's been forever since I've been down there to any restaurant. Lived in that area. I mean, well, when I first moved to South Florida, I started out in Coral Gables and the Kendall area, believe it or not, which was the wilderness
Yeah,
back in
back
the
then.
days.
Yeah.
Gables, of course, was well established and had some great restaurants. They still do. Had many favorites. I loved going to Coconut Grove. I lived there also when I first came here. And Kaleidoscope was my favorite spot. In fact, that was a place I took all of my first time starters when I was on the dating scene. It was a great spot. I don't know whatever happened to it. Probably long gone by now, crushed by developers because the area has changed so much.
Well, the Grove,
I loved Tony's Casinopolis, one of my all-time favorites. Chef Allen's was big in the
all
305.
great places in the past. The Grove is making a comeback. There's a lot of good new restaurants in the Grove and also Coral Gables. I mean, our friends at Daniels have, I guess, retooled what used to be the Fiola upscale Italian place into Daniels Miami, and they are just crushing it, killing it
Good,
in
good.
the business slang.
Gables
And
had
that,
a lot of classy joints,
oh,
and
yes.
and then of course later on, I mean, after I've kind of been out of the area, but still went down there infrequently to do various assignments. That Miracle Mile area became a big restaurant
Oh, yeah. There's
stronghold and really developed, and there were some great places. There was a place I don't want to say it was Rendazzo's, but there was a place that was owned by a former boxer that was an Italian restaurant that was in that Miracle Mile area that was as good as any Italian restaurant you would go to. I mean, people
I
absolutely loved that place.
I know that one. They started it in the Gables, and then they moved to Key Biscayne, and I don't know if it's still there in Key Biscayne or not. I know, for a while there, when the tennis tournament was still there on Key Biscayne, I would sometimes go into the Randazzo's. No relation to the Brooklyn Sheepshead Bay Randazzo's Clam Bar, but also
Good
very
spot.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
all good spots.
And
Yes,
on Alton Road, there's and I want to say the Duke, may he rest in peace, one of the great guys of all time. He loved a restaurant there, an Italian restaurant on Alton Road before you got to the beach, as you were coming on the causeway. Was I guess 79th Street Causeway led to this spot, but and a lovely and talented Leslie Visser was married to the Duke, and he had all of his celebrations. And I'll have to look it up. I'll have to Google it, but that place is still in existence, I believe, and very popular. And then I was friendly with the guy, not the owner, but the son of the owner of the Forge. So I used to go down there quite a bit.
Forge, yeah.
Forge is also a goner. There was talk about them, refurbishing it and reopening it, but it has not transpired. It shut down right before, I think, right around COVID also.
COVID,
But
yeah. I was gonna
it
say I
had,
feel like the Forge
yeah.
hasn't gone that long, but it's been a few years now.
Oh, and a great, obviously iconic eatery in the 305, the second oldest restaurant in all of Florida that somebody posted about on the Let's Eat South Florida group this morning. And it gave me a hankering because I haven't been there since pre COVID. It's probably been a good 6 or 7 years since I went with some friends down in South Beach. Joe's Stone Crab.
Oh, of
And
course. Yeah.
somebody posted, and it just looked delicious. And it all of a sudden lit a fire in me. And I think I got to take Val to several places for her birthday week next week. She celebrates a big milestone birthday, and she's giving me a look right now because she's working at home. But I'd love to get in and duck in. I think the play for Joe's, I've heard that they do take some reservations now since COVID. I don't know if they're still doing that. It used to be obviously a rite of passage to learn how to grease the appropriate palms at the appropriate times. It's always after the meal, and you don't even go to the main maitre d'. You go to one of the captains off to the side, And I used to know a bunch of them, and you just give the look. You come in, you say, hey, give a nod, and he'll say, just wait over there by the side, by the bathroom door. And then boom, in 5 minutes. I mean, I used to impress a lot of people with Friday night, the middle of high season, even like boat show week. I would go off to the side, and within 5 minutes every time I would get seated, and people would like say, wow, you've got some
Would they
juice.
cost you a stick?
Yeah, the normal thing back then,
20 was a big number.
20 a head.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
if I was
ahead. Oh, my
20 a head. So if I was, and this is back in the early 90s. So $20 back then is like 100 now. But it was like, if I was a party of four, $80 after the meal, you'd roll it up, nice little handshake after the meal, and say, hey, Bones, thank you very much. I appreciate it. So
If a guy left a maitre d', I'll never forget this. This goes back to my days at the infamous Dharma Grab out in California. There was a maitre d'. His name was Dory. He ended up opening a similar restaurant in West Palm Beach. And then oddly, and I've told Lubie this story, it's always weird when you see some of your friends or acquaintances show up on Unsolved Mysteries as the subject. And that's what happened to this guy. But if he got a lousy grease job from somebody that was looking for a table, and he was one highfalutin people, big time Hollywood big shots, and had the most prestigious athletes, actresses, and producers. And if somebody left him a lousy tip to try and get a table, he would look at you, and as he gave you the ticket, he would say, take these farmers to table 2. It was the biggest insult to be referred to as a farmer when you walked into the restaurant.
straight off the turnip truck. They fell right off the turnip truck. Hey,
Take
when was
these
the last
farmers
time?
to table 2, Mayo, man.
I assume you've been to Joe's numerous times, but when was the last time?
Oh, forever ago. I mean, they used to have a lot of press conferences there for, believe it or not,
Boxing.
I guess auto racing was huge.
Right.
Because they would have high end stuff going on. I
Ralph
remember-
Sanchez, right?
well, Sanchez, and there were a bunch of different auto racing events that took place down here. Even I want to say prior to Sanchez, but and so a lot of these press conferences were at Joe Stonecrab's, and of course, you wanted to go there if you were coming to Miami and you considered yourself part of the environment here. But it's been forever. I would say more than 25 years since I've been to Joe Stonecrab's.
I'm gonna have to try to arrange a iconic eatery.
We should do
show
a show
down
there. Yeah,
You gotta get back in on this. Get a plaque. Make sure he
yeah,
spells the name
obviously.
right, and we'll go.
So
Joe_apostrophe_S.
Joanne Weiss, who was the descendant, she was like 90 something years old. And I think the daughter or granddaughter of the original Joes. It must have been the daughter, but she recently passed. But Steve Sowitz is the kind of the family member who's running the show there now, and I've had several dealings with him over the years when I was the food writer and critic at the Sun Sentinel. So I'll have to get in. I'm just jonesing to get in there. I don't know. Did you have a particular order? Because when I would go with a crew, I know every time I would always get an order of fried chicken because they're known for their lost leader fried chicken. It was only like $6.95. I think now it's $8.95.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I've only been once, and I actually went the most recent, I guess, of all of us. I went, was it 2-3 years ago?
Oh, you did? Good.
Yes, we went like 2-3 years ago. My
You and Shirley? Just the
yes,
two?
we were already doing this. We were out of radio. I remember my uncle Mitch, who my dad was born and raised in Miami, lived in a tiny house, 3 boys and my grandparents, just outside of the Gables, very close to UM. So they would go to Joe's regularly. My uncle, now the one that I went with, lives in Asheville, North Carolina, but he comes down every year around March. He'll actually be down the end of March again this year. And we hadn't been to Joe's. Shirley nor I had been to Joe's. So he made a reservation. That's why I know they do make a reservation, because he didn't do any stooping or anything like that. Like, we parked, it was raining.
Stooping. No, I hope he didn't do any stooping.
Well, isn't that what you call it?
No, it's smearing. That's
No,
smearing.
it's stooping. You're gonna stoop the
A little stuff. I thought
Stooping
it's
has
called.
no.
I
it
know
Way
what
doesn't.
off.
stooping
Way
means. I know what stooping means, but
Yeah.
also I thought, give
It's
him
the
a
same
little
thing.
stoop.
It's
I thought
essentially the same
I
thing.
thought people use that phrase also when you want to give him a little.
Well, Jewish slang applies to a zillion different things. You know
I
that.
know.
If you're
But
schlepping,
schlepping
you could
and-
be schlepping and it's a bad thing.
A
You could be
lot,
schlepping
or
and
it's
it's
a
a good thing.
There's
Yeah.
snoring, there's schlepping, and then there's smearing. That you give a little schmear.
I've heard the term.
I've never
stooping.
heard of a stoop except in the
No,
context
stooping
of
is a universal.
I think sex is stooping, but also I've heard you can give him a stoop. I've heard that as well. So I don't know what to tell you.
You're gonna stoop the guy.
Either way, my uncle didn't do that.
right.
We
Ruby, you're
we are younger. We've never heard her do that. He made
He's
a
raw
reservation.
dogging life, my friend.
Yeah, there you go. He made a reservation, and it's funny. Because I remember we were doing the show already, and both of you had talked about the fried chicken, and it was like $8. So that's a win. But both my uncle and my wife looked at me like I was a jerk off because it's my first time going there. I'm like, yeah, both of you are gonna get lobster or stone crabs, whatever.
No,
Like,
stone crab. Nobody gets lobster.
Okay, well, we don't all have to get stone crabs. So I was, and we were doing the show too, so we would get them from time to time. So I was like, I want to get the fried chicken, but Shirley gave me side eyes. So what's funny is they had a fried lobster, and that's what I got.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
it wasn't great.
they talked me into that one time, and I gotta say, not
Wasn't
their
great.
best foot forward.
Stone crabs are amazing. The spinach,
Here,
the key lime pie. I wish to try the fried chicken. The fried lobster, it seemed unnecessary. Like it.
okay, here's the ultimate, and you know me, I'm the table jockey captain. I'm just taking over and ordering for everybody.
That's
If you
why
go
nobody
on,
needs to go out to eat with you.
yeah, no, that people love to go out.
Oh, they do? Okay. All
They
right.
just, they
Oh,
don't-
because you get the freebies, but I mean, people want to
no,
make their own
sometimes I
stuff.
make them pay. That's even better. So, the ultimate thing, and the other play is go for lunch. Like slide in there at lunchtime during the week because it's not nearly as crowded, and the food is absolutely the same. And but go in there. You get for a appetizer. They have great Manhattan red clam chowder, which is it was rare to find in South Florida when I first moved here, but an excellent tomato-based clam chowder. I would start with that, get a fried chicken for the table, and then they have their salads. They did like a house-made coleslaw where they would actually toss it together with the mayonnaise right at the table and with a little paprika and celery salt. I like the coleslaw or the tomato. They have these thick chunk tomatoes and onion salad or tomato and cucumber salad with their house garlic dressing. Get some of those. Then you get a platter of large stone crabs for the table, hash browns lyonnaise, and cream spinach. And I have a dog that is crawling up behind me now. I'm dog sitting this week here.
Look at
And
And
he's
then
going to
they
make his
look
lunchbox
at you.
debut. Dulcie, do you want to come up here? He's wedged in behind my back. I can't believe this
Be careful.
this animal. That's so funny. Do you want to make it? You want to make a debut? Come on up here. Here you go. There's Dulcie.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh,
Dog.
okay.
What, a pit? Are you house sitting a pit bull?
It's a partial pit bull. She is
I
a
love
very
pit bulls. Don't get me
yeah.
wrong. I think pit bulls are sweethearts. It's just funny that
It's
you're
a
not
mix.
a dog. So like
This-
pit bulls can be rough. Like,
This is Dulciana. She used to be Val's father's companion, and since Val's
Nice.
father has passed, her sister takes care of her, but her sister is away this week, so we have been tasked with dog sitting.
enjoy them.
And there's certain things she seems to gravitate toward me, which is so we've had babies, dogs. Yeah,
And they love Mayo.
she's very well behaved, except when there's passing dog traffic. So anyway, so Joe Starker, I got to get in there soon. I'm jonesing for it.
We should be doing an iconic show there for sure.
Yes, we will. Meanwhile, Dulcie is sniffing the cheese doodles, and no,
Oh,
that is not for you.
That is for
That
dogs.
is for our show. Before we get to the taste test, we'll do a break. But I also got to say, man doesn't live by cheese doodles alone. So I figured I would preview next Monday on March 9th is National Meatball Day. And I know we talk
nice.
about meatballs. Today was sponsored by Prezzo. They have great meatballs there. They actually represented at the Red Meat Lover Club event on Monday. They showed up with Wagyu meatballs, which were outstanding.
Nice.
So Prezzo and Boca and also Palm Beach Gardens has some really good meatballs that they put out there. And then, of course, Cafe Martorano that we talk about. But I went to a place today because I did my beach walk today. And this was my old stomping grounds in my old neighborhood, Concadoro, which used to be in Hollywood on Young Circle, but they've since moved about 10 or 15 years ago to a little strip mall right across from Dania Highlight, now known as the casino at Dania Beach. But the funny part is I never liked their meatballs. They have great lunch deals, and their heroes it used to be ridiculous, like $6 and $7. They just recently raised the price. So this meatball parm sub was $9.50.
Nice.
And I never liked the meatballs there. I thought they were too bready and they just weren't that good. But a couple of weeks ago, my brother said, "Oh, we ordered in from Concadoro and I got a side order of meatballs and they were fantastic." And so I figured I want to try and see if my brother is trustworthy or if he's full of it. So we're going to do that later in the show. We're going to do cheese doodles later in the show. But first, I wanted to talk a little sports, Lubie. I imagine you're the only one in town maybe doing cartwheels because the your Florida Panthers might be dealing one
such a
Sergei
weird-
Bobrovsky because he's going to be an unrestricted free agent, and with them going
Why do you
nowhere.
think me? Defo actually watches a lot more sports than I do these days. And then Jaffe, now I know why. Jaffe did it the other day. Oh, you're going to be excited, Lubie. I know Bobrovsky's good. He just annoys me because he will make the greatest saves you've ever seen and then give up a goal with a guy in his face where he has defensemen helping him. But yeah, supposedly he's struggling this year, which I don't. That shows you how much I paid attention.
He's not struggling. The team is struggling. He stood on his head the other day. But
he's old. He's going to be a free agent. I mean, if you can get anything for him, you get it.
37. I don't know. Goalies can go to. I don't know what was
Not
Dominic
that
Hasek.
old.
But
It's
yeah,
late
37.
30s.
He's 37. I don't know what the expiration date on goalies are. But what do you think, Defo? Should they deal him and now because it looks like they're not going to be making the playoffs and get something as opposed to waiting until he's an unrestricted free agent and risk losing him for nothing?
Makes total sense. Look, you can't knock the guy. You have 2 Stanley Cup championships and a trip to the finals. So when Dale Talon, who was, would you say maligned? That's probably not even accurate because, as Eddie Pope pointed out to me, malign means unjustly criticized. And
Right.
a lot of the criticism was legitimate, but turned out he made the right move by getting Bobrovsky because you couldn't get a better result. I mean, you're trying to win a championship. He won 2. So, and he was largely responsible for both and also instrumental, even though he wasn't playing as well when they went to the finals the first time and lost. So, yeah, I mean, you got your dividend out of this guy. You signed him as an expensive, high-priced free agent. Started out poorly, looked like it was a really bad move, turned out to be great. And sometimes you got to know when to cut your losses and just say, okay, we got as much as we could out of this guy. Well, let's go in another direction. Plus, goalies have become almost like running backs, a little bit interchangeable. If you look at your favorite team, Lubie and Mike Mayo, the Edmonton Oilers, I believe they're on like their 5th goalie this year.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
they've had goalies now that have taken them a couple of times to the Stanley Cup Finals. Unfortunately for them, in a losing effort, good for us. But yeah, goalies have become largely interchangeable as compared to what it was all about in the past when you stuck with one guy. I mean, I think Gump Worsley is still playing for the Rangers. It's very possible he's in the pipes tonight as they try to battle for a playoff spot.
Eddie Jacobin, rest in peace. I used
Yeah.
to know him growing up. No, I guess the question though is if they deal him now, would the team who gets him automatically have to sign him right away to a long-term deal to make it worth it, or would it be a possibility of somebody just wants him for a good playoff run and then he'd still be an unrestricted free agent and the Panthers conceivably could sign him back for 2 more years to I don't know anything about the insider scuttlebutt in hockey, but what are the possibilities? Is that something I was
Nobody knows. I was just reading about a bunch of hockey trades. I was going to talk about it this morning with Lubie on the show. And then I realized I know nothing about this.
I have no idea.
that's never stopped us before.
You need a Blitz course to figure out what the trade deadline is all about in the National Hockey League.
Yeah.
And for anybody to say, I mean, I'm sure there are people that really follow this Don Cherry style and
Yeah.
are very adept at analyzing this sort of thing. But I couldn't tell you who did well or who didn't. And with Bobrovsky, I would think if the Panthers, they need to probably get some young blood in there and go in another direction, and especially off of this season where, expectations and naturally were higher than what we're seeing. And the injuries with Barkov and Kachuk didn't help him any, but it happens. Sports is very cyclical, as you know. So the key will be Mike Zito, who was a genius so far in his tenure as a GM. How quickly can you bounce his team back out of this year? So we'll see what he has in mind. But
No,
I would think like in Riley we trust, maybe in Zito.
Yeah, I mean, Zito's done a look again. They've had so much injuries, and they've been in the playoff picture most of the season. It sucks that they're not going to be there and just see if they
they're
can make some run.
swooning. They are swooning when they should be soaring, and
No,
we
no, no,
all
it's-
thought when
it's-
they got Kachuk back. Look, Seth Jones is he still out too? I mean, these are
They've had a lot of
He'll
injuries.
be back tonight, I think.
okay.
And again,
key
Marchand's also been in and out of the lineup for a lot of the season. Like,
Right.
what are you going to
They-
do with him?
They
No.
basically got to win every game left, right? The margin for error now is only like losing 1 or 2, and
And they're
ties
not-
don't get it done because the other team still gets a point. You know,
You can't lose 5-1 to the Islanders, and I'm sure the Islanders are okay, but you can't lose 5-1. Like,
Didn't they lose the same way to the Devils?
yeah, when you have the playoffs hanging in the balance again, and this team, we know the fight that's in this team. This is when they would have got geared up.
Now,
Not
this-
having Barkov is really like
this is
again.
what-
They're going to go.
No, this is when I think you could say the word "stooped" applies. They got stooped by the
Yes,
Devils.
they get stooped by the Devils.
Play Columbus tonight. This friend of mine, I was doing our handicapping show on No Filter, and he thinks that this is it. It's do or die for the Panthers tonight. That if they lose this game to the Blue Jackets, who they
Then-
trail by 7 points to make it into the postseason, that they would then be 9 behind, and that would be an epitaph at that point. So he was thinking that they're going to muster up a lot of intensity tonight and maybe prevail on the road against
Yeah,
Columbus.
it's do or die, and I don't know if there's going to be a fire sale, but you're going to start to see some pieces being moved to playoff contenders to see what they could build up for the future. And our viewers are very sharp, and they notice it's not Mike Zito, who's your musician friend.
Oh, Bill Zito, yeah.
It's Bill Zito. It's not Nick Zito. Nick Zito, has he trained a horse?
He's still around, yeah. In fact,
Zito-
I would say it was probably 6 months ago, maybe. We were sitting there on the Lunchbox set at Gulfstream Park, and who comes out of the men's room?
Oh, it was
Nick Zito, and he gave me a big wave, and I was always a big fan of Nick Zito.
Can't knock the horse. Don't knock the horse. Well, I love Strikey. Strike the gold.
He's got that voice. Yeah, he got that voice.
Got that
But
voice.
actually, he had a move that was more popular, and I don't know that it's still a pattern that exists where you would see some horse before the Florida Derby maybe win an allowance race, not necessarily in the Holy Bull or the Fountain of Youth. And then that would be a horse that you would have to take notice of. And I believe that was the case. Did Strike the Gold win the Florida Derby
I
one year?
believe he did. Strikey.
And I think
called
he
him
won
Strike.
like
Strikey. You could knock me, but don't knock the horse. It's my fault. That's it.
yeah, I
Anytime
think he
lost.
won an allowance race, which was the indicator that maybe he was ready and wasn't in the big stakes series. I don't think the Holy Bull might not have existed back then, but the Fountain of Youth certainly was big. And I remember watching that horse run in this allowance race and thinking, Zito's got the goods. So whether it's Bill Zito or Nick Zito or my man Mike Zito, the musician,
Yep.
those are my 3 favorite Zitos, and Bill is certainly one of them.
Nick Zito's barn is thinned out considerably. I don't know which owners
He
he
doesn't
has.
run that
but
often, but
he's got a few in there. But at this point, I wonder if you could train a rat to eat cheese or cheese doodles. But that's a knock. You know, I shouldn't do that.
yeah. Why are you taking shots? I mean, it's like you're spinning on no Holtz's grave.
Hey, you know who's going to be upset if Bobrovsky gets dealt is the folks over at Daniel's, a Florida steakhouse in Fort Lauderdale, Cassidy and Tom Angelo. He's been a good, steady customer. He goes in there a lot because he lives in the neighborhood, and Bobrovsky loves those high-end steaks at Florida Daniel's.
He can more than afford them with the
Yes, he
millions he has
can.
in his pockets. Yeah.
Yes, they all can. All right, let's take the first break, and then I'll get my fingers dirty and all tinged with orange, and then I'll start eating meat.
So disappointed you don't have the puffs.
Oh,
you do.
well, no, I got all
Crunchy
crunchy.
ones are not even real Cheetos.
I really blew it because I could have got the cheese doodles were BOGO this week, and I ended up getting just 2 bags of the same. I messed up. I thought one of them was puffs and one of them was
Yeah, that red bag I always assume is puffs, but I guess they make the red bag in not puffs and regular
Totally blew
ones.
it.
I was horrified the other day. I only buy coffee on BOGO, even though I'm a Dunkin' Donuts guy. But
Yeah.
so I'm in Publix. The coffee prices are
Yeah,
outrageous.
they skyrocketed.
Even though all prices are coming down and are at an all-time low. And so I buy, there were like 2, 12 packs, and they were reasonable, like $11. And I pull them off the shelf, and I get home, and I open the box, and I start stacking them in my little coffee carousel I have by the coffee maker. And I realized I bought 2 boxes of decaf.
No.
Oh, that's the worst.
such
You
a
can bring them
waste.
back.
Oh, no, I brought them back, and
You
I have to say,
Yes.
this was a transaction. It would be like trying to cash in Bitcoin at one of those ATM machines
Really?
at a gas
It
station in
took
the middle
that
of nowhere.
long?
Well, no, it just the way the poor person was ringing it up. She couldn't get back to the fact that she was somehow ripping me off for $6.95. And not I literally was there like a half hour, and you know how you're on the customer service line at one of these places, and now there's like 20 people
Yeah,
behind me.
and you're the jerk
They all
off.
hate me, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything.
But have you ever
It's
pulled
so simple.
this? Have you ever pulled this move at Publix? Because maybe I have. Is where you buy something BOGO, and then it's not what you want, and then you return one item the next week and get full price, and then bring back the other one the next week. So
Yeah,
you get
Hey, that
two
you? I didn't know you could
refills.
do that. That's a great move. I didn't know.
I've seen it.
I was happy to get caffeinated coffee so I could actually. What's the point of drinking decaf? It's like drinking
No,
things
it's,
that have no alcohol in them.
My mom's done it my whole life, and I don't. As I became an adult, I'm like, it's like non-alcoholic beer.
Exactly.
a lot of the
flavor,
yeah,
but
a lot of the people in my family, we'd have these family functions, the big
but
family Seder with 50
Jews
people,
do
and they
decaf.
would brew a big pot of decaf at the end of the night. Who wants decaf? And it's like, you might as well
Well,
just.
give me a shot of heroin at that point.
The
No,
point is
I
to keep
want
you awake.
full caffeine, and it's like if
You
you don't,
drink
then
milk.
just don't drink any coffee late at night if you can't have the caffeine. But otherwise, and I'm immune to everything. Like I could drink like 3 cups of coffee at 8:30 p.m. and I go right to sleep if I have.
Oh, yeah,
enough.
well.
Sometimes I like it after a meal, and Shirley will be like, "You're gonna have coffee now." I'm like, it doesn't do anything. Like it does in the
That always
morning.
makes you feel good about drinking it too, when the wife gives you some nagging jab.
Yeah.
Here
What
in
do you
your
think?
heart.
Are dogs allowed to eat cheese doodles? What do you think?
No, don't give dogs weird food.
Okay,
Don't give
no
dogs
weird
weird
for you.
food.
No weird for you, Dulcie. No.
If
Look
you
at that.
want
We
to keep
got
some kind of meat,
do
Sweet
you have the
taste.
baby around? We got a baby and dogs and
I got some
That's
dogs strolling around here.
Devo can bring both of them out. My dog will take over the whole set, so I can't bring my dog out.
Dulcie, you like being on the show?
I
Yes,
like it.
Yes, you
He's a
do.
beautiful dog. Nice.
Holly wouldn't eat a Cheeto. I don't.
Yeah, no. See, my dog will eat anything. My dog eats rocks. Like he's freaking insane.
Hey, before we take the first break, let's talk a little bit about our friends at Tropical Acres because I'm trying to get in there to do a show before the end of the month because they got 2 big Sunday holidays coming up. They're usually closed on Sundays, but with Easter Sunday coming up on April 5th and then Mother's Day, May 10th, those are 2 of the rare Sundays that they are indeed open, both days 1 to 8 p.m. So you could get in there for a nice family early supper, late lunch, early dinner, 1 to 8 p.m. And the only way you can get a reservation at Old School Tropical Acres is by Old School picking up a telephone and calling them at 954-989-2500 right there on the screen below. And then they'll put you down in their yellow legal pad book. It's a highly technical system, but it works. It's been working for 77 years. I love the way they do things there. I dropped by today. Jack wasn't in yet, but his sister Marie was there. Jackson was there. They're doing a great job. They got all kinds of things. If you want to go by the butcher shop, which is open every day but Sunday during the daytime, pick up fresh cut steaks and filet mignons. And they also have, for this month, they have a special in honor of St. Patty's Day, shepherd's pie. You could, they've been making some shepherd pie that you could pop in the oven when you get back home after dinner. So you could pick that up at the butcher shop at Tropical Acres. Better yet, go in there. Enjoy happy hour Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30 in the bar area. You'll see Nick and Tony. They do a great job. It was so great seeing our friends at Blackjack's Rum Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale yesterday. And both Deanne and her brother not only know Tropical Acres, but they love it. And they go in there and they also love sitting at the bar during happy hour. So it's nice to see that obviously they have a great reputation, even among those in the business. Quality, value, great service. Tropical Acres, get in there for the best prime rib in town. That comes with a salad and a side dish, along with all kinds of other steaks, chops, lamb. Rack of lamb is great. And don't sleep on the seafood, the broiled seafood platter, the scallops. And coming soon after Mother's Day will be the return
Oh, yeah,
of the
lobster special.
twin lobster special, which is when I love going in there. Like it becomes a weekly event in the summertime where I go get a little prime rib and a twin lobster special and have a little surf and turf date night. You can't do better than that. Monday and Tuesday is half price wine night. So much great value. Go to Tropical Acres and tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, let's take the first break. We'll come back. We'll eat some cheese doodles and meatballs after this. The finest quality, warm hospitality, and world-class creativity. Those are the ingredients that make Daniel's, a Florida steakhouse, a special place. Come experience the restaurant that's Michelin Guide recommended and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved, with an impressive collection of steaks, seafood, and more, like their foie gras creme brulee. Daniel's is located at 620 South Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, just south of the New River Tunnel, open Tuesday through Sunday for dinner. For reservations and information, go to danielssteak.com. Fresh local fish, a sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hour 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Do you love Italian food? I mean, who doesn't love Italian food? Well, have I got a great new place for you, Elvis Italian Grill. It's at 4261 Griffin Road in Dania Beach, right near State Road 7 and the Hard Rock Casino. It's named for its owner, Elvis. And it has all your favorites: pizzas, pastas, veal chops, fresh fish, lunch specials, happy hour, and whole bar, great wines, al fresco dining on the deck with a water view. Open for lunch and dinner every day but Monday. For reservations and information, go to elvisitaliangrill.com. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, upscale food in a down-home setting, the chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and daily fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have daily happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. A tradition for South Florida sports fans for more than 30 years, Shenanigans. It's at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach, the place to go for all your favorite teams and events and food that's not your ordinary sports bar fare. Award-winning wings, burgers, fresh fish, and more, TV screens galore, and all-day happy hour specials. The kitchen and bar are open into the wee hours, perfect for late-night bites, and very close to the airport. For playoff action, football season, and a good time anytime, Shenanigans. Looking for inspired comfort food in a cozy setting? Blue Collar in Miami is the place to go. Located at 6789 Biscayne Boulevard, it moved to bigger digs a year ago, now has full liquor, and still features all your old favorites from chef owner Danny Surfer. Fantastic burgers, the braise of the day, and the city's best key lime pie. And drink specials every day. Open daily with weekend brunch. For reservations and information, go to bluecollarmiami.com. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. We are having a home show, and just always checking on the stats. The Let's Eat South Florida group, we're past 233,000 members, and I see in the last 28 days, anybody care to guess how many posts have been approved? It doesn't even count the ones that we had to reject for various rules infractions. 28 days, 4 weeks. Anybody want to guess the number of fortune cookies in the cookie jar?
25,000?
No.
15,000? Oh,
No.
I don't know. You get like
posts. It's like 100 a day. So whatever. It's
500. I don't know.
No, it's 1,030. But and then
It's a lot to sift through.
3.4 million page views in the last 28 days. So that's a significant traffic. And I'm looking at some of our most engaging posts, the stuff that drives me nuts, but people love to react to. I don't know if you saw this one a couple of, I guess it was a couple of weeks ago, but somebody posted a picture of a receipt, a bill from a restaurant in Boynton Beach. And you know how the people go crazy over different fees and the credit card fees. So this is the most, the post that got the most engagement in the last 28 days. It was somebody posting a receipt that showed something called the operations fee of 3.5% added to a check. Now, the overall check was basically 188 dollars. But the thing was, there was a bottle of wine that they ordered was a half price wine night. So they ordered a nice bottle of Brunello for $120. They got it for $60.
That's beautiful.
But then at the end of the night, there was this mystery operations fee at 3.5%, which added another $8.40.
I get the
And you know, they had conniptions. They were throwing a shit fit over the $8.40. It's like, well, at least you save $60 on the wine. So no, nobody has that. And I guess the whole thing is it must have been people just hate when there's hidden fees and it's not even on the website or the menu. But you don't let yourself get bothered by these things, right, Defo?
I don't take hidden fees. Who does?
Oh, okay.
What the hell is that?
Oh, no.
What is an operational cost? I mean, is it the cost of doing business?
What does that mean?
Like we always said, I mean, just juice the menu prices a little bit if you're going under. Look, we understand it. A lot of restaurants going out of business right and left. You keep saying there are new ones coming. That's great, but there's no guarantee they're going to succeed.
Mhm.
So I never heard of such a thing.
Oh, okay. No, but
I mean, if it's a credit card fee,
right.
The weird thing for me about credit card fees when they're charged is they don't know if you're paying cash when they put it on there.
No, but they
get the bill and it already has that on there. So,
right. But if they will remove it in any place that's legitimate, when you say I'm paying cash, that will give you the discount. And
somehow it sometimes slips people's minds. But,
yeah, that's one of the ways that
I don't like any devious. How popular is this term now? Transparency.
Yeah.
And Bondi testimony or Christy Nolan. And you're like, what the hell are you talking about?
Right. Now, the credit card fee, I understand because look, they do.
I understand that 1,000%. That's fine. But,
and a lot of places still do what they call the cash discount, so they'll give you an extra 10% or 15% off the bill if you pay cash, and
that's cool too. But operational fee, I mean, needs
that's a little
definition to be.
Isn't that what the price is?
That's legit.
Yeah, I'm saying, you should build
the operational fee.
I mean, if I cooked it at home, then I would have saved the operational fee.
Exactly.
No, that is, it was a valid complaint because again, communication. If on the menu and on the website it says for everybody's notification that we have placed a 3.5% operational fee for extra cleaning or but you know what? Nobody wants to see that. They just build it into the thing. So
look, I get what you're saying. People lament the small stuff and that's fine. And you save $60. So who cares about $8? I normally like with the water, when you pay $1 for good water, I think that's weird to bitch about that. But I just laughed when you first said I laughed because it's like, and we do restaurants and I love restaurants and I understand between insurance and the rent now and all these other food costs, it's really hard to maintain a successful business if you don't own your own land. It's almost impossible. So I understand if you need to make more money, I get it. So raise the prices. And if people don't bear it, then that's on you. Like I don't know what that means. Like,
no, and during COVID, we would see these kind of COVID fees because they had to take extra safeguards and have to buy extra cleaning supplies and disinfectant and more labor. They would have people come in every night to disinfect everything and blah, blah, blah. That I could see as a temporary cost, but now to still have some sort of at the end of the meal get hit with this, I'm going to side with the people that posted it, which is why I allowed it. But I just said, have fun, you receipt freaks.
It's a car for $29.95, right?
Yeah, and
it ends up costing you $79.95.
Yes,
and you're looking at these things that are on the receipt, and you're saying there was no mention of any of this. I mean, what kind of garbage is that? By the way, I was going to say this before we went to the break, and I saw the Facebook post of one Tom Tanazzini, one of our favorite human beings, and a great guy and just an inspirational member of the culinary community down
and
here.
He's watching right now.
He loves them. And man, he posted up a thing. You talk about this brilliant new healthcare system that we have,
Yeah,
where they hosed him on what seemed to be absolutely a necessary healthcare,
it's
and just sent him packing with like his foot bleeding from the
savage.
street. Crazy.
And Tom is on the chat line right
He's
now.
here.
So
He
hello,
wants-
Tom. I'm glad
Love
that you're still able to knock out some of your great food for
Love it.
Tom's Louisiana Kitchen. Again, thanks again for all those lasagnas for when we were gathering for Val's dad's memorial. But yeah, I mean, it's savage, and you got to be your own advocate, but it's a full-time job. You got to be on the phone yelling at people all day, and that's not good for anybody's health. And it's crazy. Which is why I wear my bananas shirt so many times.
Well, the insurance companies, the way they handle things is fun. Like they'll fund some things, and some things are like, oh, well, it happened at 3:29, and at 3:20 we have a cutoff. It's like, come on, guys. We've been paying for years. Most of us don't run to doctors. You've been taking my money for years. Like, I now need to use you. Like,
I haven't had a car insurance claim probably in 25 years. You're paying all that time. And then when you finally file a claim, they look at you, like.
And then they jack up your rates. Now, I did get a good bonus because I don't know if you heard about this, but everybody who had certain auto insurance policies, and I had mine with Progressive, if you were on their policy as of December 31st of last year, you were entitled to a rebate thanks to some law in the Florida
okay, so like Progressive magically, I didn't have to pay for 2 months, and my mom.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. If you look,
I'm like, I called them, and they're like, "Yeah, you're free." I'm like,
it was
"Okay."
great. I got also a little over. I got $1,200 bonus because I have 3 cars insured, including with a 20-year-old, and but it's also a very happy day. My next payment's not due until like June, which is great.
Yep.
You know, I renewed for 6 months. I almost got 3 whole months free, which felt like a deal. So, yay!
Sounds like you're at rooms to go.
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly. Yeah, don't pay
No payments until they get very stiff in 2028.
So
then we'll take your house.
it's all a racket. What I've also found is that now, some of my specialists aren't covered by my health insurance now that I'm on like a care, whatever. It's not third rate, but it's just certain specialists.
It's third world insurance, isn't it?
But I find that it's easier, and even sometimes, well, it's not cheaper, but it's just less hassle where I'll just say, hey, you know what? I don't have insurance. I'm just going to pay cash. What's the rate if you come in and check my eyes for my annual? And they'll just say, it's $220. It's like, okay, it's not as good as a $80 copay, but I don't get tagged with if they have to do some extra tests. Because sometimes then you'll get a notice from your insurance like, oh, you haven't hit your deductible for the year, so you got to pay like $700 for this.
Well, with your hypochondria, I would want to
I
for everything. I would pay whatever they asked me for to have insurance that covered 100%.
Yeah, no. All right, it's time to get into National Cheese Doodle Day, and we're going to start with Cheetos, which is a cheese doodle, right? And this one is the crunchy one, and it's orange. Oh, they're spilling out, and you can see they're orange. And I'm gonna go.
You definitely have your crunch. One for the crunch.
A little crunch. All right, these are cheddar. All right, let me crunch a little bit. These are cheddar flavor.
Do they have other flavors? Cheetos? I don't even know. Oh, flaming hot, I guess.
Yeah, I got the flaming hot over here, which are even more.
Those are decent.
What's the word? Incandescent?
Yeah, they're like right, but they're at least there's something to them.
It's kind of the way the different shades of skin that our president looks every day, depending on his makeup, John. The difference between the Cheetos regular.
Just ate a bag of Cheetos and smeared it on his face. Like he did one of these things and then realized his fingers.
Bathed in it.
So the Cheetos cheddar crunchy, good crunch, surprisingly muted in the flavor department. I expect like a lot more saltiness. Like
the
Doritos.
Crunchy ones is they don't have that Cheeto taste.
Yeah, the flavor's not as good. That's my problem with the crunchy ones.
Now the flaming hot,
they're solid. The flaming hot are good.
Has both the saltiness,
yeah,
and the heat, and the crunch.
Yeah,
this to me is the total package. Now that's
the regular Cheetos that are crunchy. That's why I never got it. They don't have the flavor of the puff ones. Always have a way better flavor.
All right, and now I'm going into the Wise cheese doodles. Now, Defo, you like the Wise potato chips more than the Lay's, right?
1,000, times, yes, more. I don't even know if Lay's qualifies as a real potato chip.
They're good.
Not compared to Wise. So I grew up on Wise, and when I first discovered Wise onion and garlic at the Sunrise Lanes bowling alley during my Police Boys Club bowling league when I was about 12 years old, I couldn't get over it, man. And I could eat a giant bag back in the day, and then followed it up, kind of wash that down with a huge bag of peanut M&Ms. So I wasn't the best of eaters, when I was in my teens, and maybe I sort of abandoned that in my early 20s. But I don't know about why. I mean, what's the Cheetos? Isn't it its own brand?
It's own brand, but they're all cheese doodles. Like
Cheese doodles, yeah. I mean, but the
this is
puffs
cheese doodles.
Yeah, I don't know that Wise wasn't the manufacturer though of the original. Were they? I don't think so.
Now these are cheddar and crunchy too, and these have a little more flavor than the Cheetos, just regular crunchy ones. Cheetos crunchy.
Okay, so
ones.
Cheetos is a company, but Cheese Doodles is under the Wise banner.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
didn't understand that. Yeah,
That's
Yeah, but it's National Cheese Doodle, spelled
I get it, but
cheese
I'm saying-
EESE. So both of these are cheese doodle products, but Wise actually, trademark cheese doodles with the
Doodles.
Z, and I guess Cheetos, in order to differentiate themselves, just
Or
calls
Cheetos.
them Cheetos. Cheetos. I
Yeah,
need
they're
to
Cheetos, and then they do Cheetos Puffs, is what I
right,
think it is. And
Cheetos
that,
Puffs.
that
Now,
competes with the other. The
I'm
Cheetos.
going to say of these three, I would go with the Flaming Hot. I think they have
Flamin'
the
Hot
most
sounds-
flavor, and I like spice. But
Yes.
runner-up would be the Wise extra crunchy cheddar cheese doodles. I should have got just a plain puff one.
Puffs
but,
are the best.
all right. So what have we
Flamin' Hot-
learned from this? That junk food is fun to play
Yes.
around with. That's
There
it.
you
All
go.
right. Now on to the meat. Now, you know what? Let's take the second break.
Let's do it.
And then I'll come back and start devouring this meatball sub. I did a walk on the beach this morning. Beautiful.
Yeah, the
A
weather's
little
been
bit windy, red flags up, purple flags up. I guess that means high
That's
rough
a
surf,
lot
along with what the purple is jellyfish.
Yeah,
jellyfish,
never a good sign.
which is not great.
So I'm not jumping in, but I did enjoy the walk. I did about 3 miles, not the full 4.
Oh, they fired Christy Nome. I
Seriously?
Good idea. Yeah, it happened.
mean, Sarni's saying it. Sarni wouldn't lie.
And
That's funny.
and dogs throughout the land rejoice. Hey, Dulcie.
Problem is the
they
replacement.
got rid of the dog shooter.
Have you
Yay.
seen this guy, Mark Wayne Mullen, the guy that's the lunatic that
Mm.
defends everything Trump says, and then they ask him pointed questions, and he just
He's the
says,
new guy.
Amina. Supposedly, that's the guy that Trump wanted. That's the problem. When he actually gets rid of people, he's not going to replace them. Again, remember, Pam Bondi's the replacement for Gates.
It doesn't get better.
replacements aren't better.
I just saw was signed as a Dolphins assistant running back. They figured since their season's in the tank, why not give a woman a job?
You saw down in Texas. What state it was? Crenshaw, the guy who was a veteran
Yes,
who got his
yes.
eye knocked out.
He lost.
He lost. He got primaried, and he's a
Yes.
pretty hardcore conservative, but he's dared to cross Trump on the whole give it up. 2020 wasn't a rigged election; it was a legitimate election result that you just lost, and he had the audacity to say that. And as a result, he got a primary challenger, and he lost, which is just shows you the state of affairs. This is why every year when it's New Year's and people say, "Oh, it can only get better; things can't get worse," and I
That's
say,
not always
"You
true.
just wait. Yes, they
That's not
can."
always true.
So here we are. All right. Before we take the second break, quick word about our friend Burger Beast. Seth Gonzalez has put
Yeah.
together one of his hamburger house parties, and for the first time in Broward County, it's coming up on May 2nd, first Saturday in May, which also happens to be Kentucky Derby Day. But the
Nice.
good news is the hamburger house party runs from 3 to 6 p.m. and the Derby post time is 7 p.m. So you can do it all. You can have it all. You could have your burgers and bet on the race and watch the race too. It's going to be taking place at the Mad Arts Museum in Dania Beach, right there on Federal Highway. And it's through our friends at Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival because they're having events throughout the year. So just go online to vlfoodwine.com, click on the tab for the hamburger house party. And if you use the promo code Lunchbox, you'll get an extra 15% off the already low ticket price. There's going to be a great lineup, more than a dozen great burgers from around the county and around South Florida, along with some drinks and desserts. It's going to be a fun day. I'm going to go out there and take my gout medication beforehand. Gotcha, Don Jaffe. I said it. Oh, no, it's Schwartz. Brian Schwartz. I can never get that straight. All right, hamburger house party, Saturday, May 2nd. Go online, vlfoodwine.com. All right, let's come back after this, and I'll start finally eating my meatball sub, and maybe I'll feed a meatball to the dog, too,
Yeah, you can.
after this. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk and Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays, including their new burrilla tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, for great pizzas, pastas, and Italian comfort classics, you got to check out Camille's Pizzeria and Ristorante. It just launched a great new happy hour on weekdays, 5 to 7 p.m., featuring all kinds of drink specials, $10 light bites, and a great 3 for $20 appetizer special. It's a true mom-and-pop shop run by a great couple, John and Maya. He grew up in Queens, and his pizzas and signature chicken parmesan are fantastic. Takeout and delivery available. Go to Camille's ftlauderdale.com for reservations.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligans, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Guess who's back and better than ever? Juan's. For the best in classic old school Chinese cuisine, a family-run South Florida favorite since 1966. It's at 664 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Chef Alex is carrying on the family tradition that started 4 generations ago. It used to be known as Christina Juan's Mandarin House, and you're going to love it as Juan's. They've got all your favorites: wonton soup, spare ribs, egg rolls, dumplings, Peking duck, and more. Combo lunch specials daily and takeout and delivery. For more information, go to their Instagram page at wans.fl. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox, and during the break, I took a few bites of this beautiful meatball parm sub from Concadoro in Dania Beach. used to be my local place. And you know what? The meatball's okay. There's so many meatballs and meatball styles out there. Look, we just had a commercial for Camille's. They have some good
They do a
meatballs
really
for
nice
their
meatball.
happy hours. Elvis Italian Grill has some
Nice
good
meatball.
meatballs. There's a lot of meatballs under the sun. Sometimes it's all beef. Sometimes it's a beef pork blend. Sometimes a little veal thrown in. Some of them use some breadcrumbs and binders. Some of them throw some egg. This seems like a little bit of a softer meatball. It seems like it does use some breadcrumbs and milk and maybe kind of makes it a little bit moister. But it doesn't have the big beefy flavor that I love. So, I mean, it's not my favorite meatball, but Concadoros does such a great job with so many other things. And I don't know, what's your particular style of meatballs there, Defo? You obviously love the
Like
more common.
the blend of beef and pork. Best one I had at one time was Monterano, but at $40 a pop, I could have bought an AMF bowling ball and joined the league. Then Pete, who started Pete's Cafe Belisara in Parkland, he had the right formula. But far and away, the best one I've had of late. There was a little pizza joint on Cypress Road and McNabb.
Mm.
It was on McNabb, and I don't remember the exact name. It was run by his former bookmaker, and surprisingly, for $5 a pop, he had an unbelievable meatball. Lubie used to come to some of the parties I had with those meatballs. Well, they were fantastic.
Yeah, I thought it was Belisara. I remember,
Yeah.
what I was gonna say, the meatballs that Diva used to have at his parties were like
I think it's called Little Italian Pizza, 448 South
ridiculous.
Cypress. Is
They
that
were-
does that ring a bell?
No, it had a different name. It's not Belamonte, which is on Atlantic. But
Those
far and away, the best one I've had any time recently.
Those were
Once again, the great Kathy Vasallo fishtails,
Mm.
Sunday night meatballs and gravy, just unbelievable. And at the price, incredible. And I would have to say it's far and away my favorite at this point. And of course, Casa Calabria has great meatballs. But if you were going personal taste,
yeah,
I love what Kathy does there at Fishtails.
I do like a good blend also of
yeah. It's weird because I know Joe's really focused on doing all beef at 10 Palms. And I don't know the difference except for like the ones I really love are the ones that end up being a mix. And I have nothing against all beef, but the ones that I remember going, oh, that was a great meatball. It ends up being like a beef pork, sometimes veal, sometimes without veal. Because I know
more
veal
flavor.
is a
Yeah,
blend,
more
like,
different.
they feel like, they feel more robust in flavor. So
Yeah.
I
Oh, and
tend to
our
lean.
friend Reno over at Heritage, he has a good meatball appetizer during
Yes,
the
I was trying to think.
daytime.
All these places do. Elvis does a great one. Camille's does a really good meatball.
Yep.
I remember that the pizza spot doesn't do a ton of things, but I remember I really like their meatball. They did a really good meatball.
Yeah, that's an all beef meatball. That is
exactly. So that's the thing. It's not automatically that I don't like all beef, but when I'm most of the time, I end up leaning with the mixture.
and also you like a good sauce, a nice
Sicilian does a
robust.
nice St. Oven does a nice like. There's a lot of places that do a really good meatball. So
Yeah.
I feel weird.
All right, well,
The
everybody,
ones I used to have at his parties were my favorite at the time.
they could submit their favorites as we head into National Meatball Day on Monday, which also happens to be my brother, Burl Mayo, Stephen Mayo's
Early
birthday on Monday, March 9th. Big week. Got Burl, my brother, on Monday, and then next Wednesday, Val. has
Oh,
a big
nice.
birthday also on March
Oh, I love
11th. So we're going to kick off the celebrations tonight. Talk about, going from, me, I go from eating Cheetos. And then tonight, I've got to do a taping. I'm going to be a guest on a podcast. It's it's weird. It's a podcast that's taping in Delray Beach, and it's about the intersection of the hospitality and food business and mental health, which is
Oh, fun.
obviously a big thing. And
Jeez.
I'm an expert on both.
I was gonna say they got the right guy.
I might wear my bananas shirt too, but no, I'm doing that taping, and then taking Val and a couple of her friends to a place that she's never been, and I rave about it as the best restaurant in Delray Beach. It's called The Grove. It's in Pineapple Grove, and a very quaint, like smallish place. Kind of reminds me of the vibe of Heritage. Also, smaller, funky, has a great bar set up. Really, good food from a well-trained chef. And I don't know if anybody's been there, but I've been there several times, and I'm always blown away by the quality of the food. And it's not the place for people who like big portions that you're going to take home a doggy bag, because it's just
Like a nice
more
one.
refined in terms of the European sensibilities and portions, and but very high quality stuff. Do you have any favorites up in the Delray area, Defo? Do you make it up there now?
Yeah, I'm up there every now and then. I mean, you can't go wrong. I don't think there are very few places that I've been that I said, "Wow, this place sucks." I like a lot of places. The Oyster Bar place is a very
City Oyster. Yep. City
Yeah.
Oyster. Yeah.
that's very popular. Of course, Deck 84 is up
I was
there.
gonna say
Oh
Deck
yeah,
84
our
is there,
man
right?
Deck.
I love Deck
We
84.
got a batch up there in Delray. That's Joe Casel's
But
stomping ground.
I really don't think you could walk down the street and if you went there 30 days in a row, go to 30 different places and probably come away thinking, wow, this is an incredible area for restaurants. Which you could say about a lot of different, sort of districts here in South Florida. So
Oh yeah,
one of the really nice aspects of living down here and being a food guy.
yeah. I'm always mystified by people who say, "Oh, there's no good restaurants in South Florida." Look, yes, there's a lot of touristy places and tourist traps and mediocre, high-priced places, but forget that. There's just a ton of like really good places up and down the coast. So if you can't find a good place, you're not looking hard enough. So that's it. All right, that's going to do it for today. Tomorrow, we're at Gulfstream, and we're going to have a special guest sitting in with us tomorrow, the one and only Nikki Mohan. Used to be on WPLG Channel 10, now working with the Greater Fort Lauderdale Visitors and Convention Bureau. Visit Lauderdale, they call it. Yeah. So we're going to have Nikki, and she loves coming to the races. She's bringing a group of high-powered women executives to have a little lunch at 10 Palms before the show, and then she's going to duck out and join us, and hopefully we can scope out a few winners together. Looking forward to it. Until then, enjoy every cheese doodle and enjoy every meatball sandwich.